also welcome those who are watching us thanks to the live stream on the internet. Everything goes on, also our professional program. This time it's going to be a workshop, and I will also tell you that in this part, joint contribution will be presented by Martina Slovikova, Martin Hulin, and Martin Martinkovic, who work as professional workers of the national program at the Research Institute of Child Psychology and Psychology. Martin Martinkovic will be the first one and will introduce us to the external part, in other words, the public space for all pupils, parents, expert public. Then information on composite in the process of diagnostics, Pavlina Nekorancová. The third will be Martin Hulin, composite, the process of standardization and creation of new norm for diagnostic tools. And it will be concluded by Martina Slovíková with the topic composite and human resources management. Then there will be again a short break. Thank you. Thank you for the floor. Welcome, Europe. We are here. Thank you for introducing us. It took most of what I wanted to say in the introduction. I'm Martin Martinkovic. We want to introduce you to how composite works. In the previous presentations, it was mentioned as to how individual aspects are ensured, how it is secured to prevent the leak of personal data, how data can be used, and also what our objectives are. The task of our information system is to share the broad spectrum of information of professional and popular articles, and this space serves to all experts who are in counseling, from psychological activities, special pedagogy, career counseling, etc. Each of these experts has their space. We log in to this digital tool over the internet through komposyt.sk. At the initial page, there is information about the project, thanks to which this information system was created, how it was set up, and this welcome page serves to instruct us to be able to communicate with the users of this tool. Individual parts which are available, accessible to users, not only to users but to the general public. That's professional articles, popular articles for parents, and information articles for pupils who have the possibility to find some information concerning the choice of their future secondary school or their first job. When we look at the part for the experts, it is structured according to target groups of the national project. Psychologists, special pedagogists, and educational counselors can find information here. All these target groups and the public can find here professional methodologies that were mentioned, which was mentioned by Mrs. Shrinkerova from Rabe. Each expert can come back wherever they want to, where there is access to the internet, and to refresh these methodologies if they want, in the framework of some subject, to use some quick game or something, they can use this. What is also accessible is questionnaires and counseling games, which can be used by experts. Very popular is a semaphore game, which is an initialization diagnostics, quasi-diagnostics to assess the personality features and to work with it further in professional orientation. Next part is for the parents. For the parents, in addition to popular articles, there is a network of counseling centers all over Slovakia, and also the availability of educational counselors at schools. Pupils, in addition to popular articles, can get inspired with experience of their peers. At our composite, they can also play in the process of diagnostics. They can come back to this public space and they can play games. This part, the public part, is accessible to everyone, as I've mentioned. To the internal part, that is the part which is accessible only to experts, the users need to log in using a unique password which was provided to them at ICT seminars. We have handed out 1,900 licenses on these seminars, 1,300 to centers and special pedagogists and psychologists, 300 each. Personal data protection was mentioned several times here. On our part, as users, it was our task to prepare a security project treating things like security audit or report how personal data is entered into this system. The system itself is accessible only after login, and I would like to ask Martina Slovíková to introduce you to the functionalities that are available to our users and that they can use in the counseling process. Thank you. First of all, I would like to bridge all the information that was mentioned by Martin, and I would start with the question, in your opinion, what we all need for our work to be good? It's information. The research shows that at least 30% of our working time, all of us who have the possibility to make decisions, which is all of us, we invest in searching for the necessary information. What is the problem? The problem is that there are too many sources and information is available, but at various points. With respect to efficiency, it's much more useful if they are in one place. So the bridge. Where Komposyti is in this, it offers all information sources and tools at one point. Now, I would like to pass to the internal part of Komposyt, because Martin said what documents are available in external part, whether it's legislation, forms, and laws. I would like to show you in the internal interface what functionalities are available and in what Komposyt makes the key processes of counseling system more efficient. I have logged in already. Thank you for logging me in. This is our internal interface. As Martin mentioned, the access to this protected part is available only to experts, psychologists, special pedagogists, and educational counselors. When I was mentioning first how Komposyt facilitates your operation as experts, in internal zone it works even more so. The interface provides the experts possibilities to share all necessary documents for experts who need it, concentrated in one point. That's what Mrs. Shrimpelova mentioned. We have an internal digital library. We can find all methodologies to educational counseling or for pupils with special educational needs. We can come back to this, we can download them, print them out. They are also updated. For example, excuse me, here, documentation that we needed to share with our colleagues in the field, which significantly facilitated, in a way, sharing of information and information flows, because instead of sending mass email or bulk email, this maintained data security, and we've created inboxes or boxes, mailboxes for individual users or groups of users. You can look. ICT multiplicators box, mailbox, was created for our trainers in the field who organized educational seminars and were able to download all necessary documents without us being forced to send it to them by bulk mails. How Komposyti enters into making the key processing more efficient. At one point, there is a scheduler. The functionality of the scheduler is very specific in that, in addition to me being able to plan my personal working activities, this O is a calendar. I'm a psychologist one. This is my working calendar. In addition to be able to plan my working activities, it's in one point, and I have a greater space of, instead of using Outlook or Gmail, I can provide counseling to a client. If I wanted to plan a diagnostic action, I click Smart Search. I enter the Research Institute because I want to plan it for the scheduler of the institution with a client, so that no one else can have an activity with the same client at the same time. I open the calendar of the Research Institute, which is my workplace. On Monday from 9:30 to 12, I create an activity, I name it, or it's named by default as a client project. And this is how I can define that I want to spend my time here. There is a client to be diagnosed, and this room is booked for me. Scheduler helped us significantly when planning educational activities in the field, because the system of notification from the scheduler will notify each expert. It displays in the interface of education without me having to go to the email. I just log in and it shows me my next dates planned. You can see that I have no plans, which is an error, because officially I should be here, which is an officially planned event in the scheduler, but since this is just a test profile, you cannot see it. So, education. It was mentioned several times. The Act on Lifelong Education, great emphasis is laid on the education of experts. What Komposyt makes the key processing more efficient? Experts not only educate themselves or train themselves in using the diagnostic tools in practice in paper form, but they develop their knowledge, skills and competencies. Komposyt is unique in all educational contents being digitized here, and we can come back to it at any time. We can print it out, we can improve it. My colleague mentioned it already, but again, what Komposyt is key in the improvement of the counseling system. It is that it connects experts, networks, organization. In interactive lists, I can search for a colleague I would like to contact, so that I'm not alone for developmental programs of pupils. I would enter a name, for example, Nikorancova, which is my right hand in the project, and I can look up a contact to anyone in the Slovak Republic. In addition to be able to search for experts, thank you, I'm ahead. I can contact them interactively. I can type them a message in the internal system of the scheduler. There is a small envelope. When I click it, I can write and address anyone from the experts in educational counseling and prevention. I'm not going to try it now. To conclude it and bridge it, why KomposyT is a key in making the counseling system more efficient? Because it networks experts, it interconnects experts. It simplifies information flows, simplifies sharing information and experience, and therefore it is an aid which is comprehensive and makes the counseling system more efficient. Now I would like to pass the floor to Paulinka, who will tell you what KomposyT makes the key processes of counseling system more efficient in. Guess 3 times what we haven't seen yet, diagnostics. Now we will together look at the electronic working environment of Psychologist 1. So that it is not only general. Let's have a story. We have a pupil who is called William Bransky, for example. William is a pupil in the 9th grade. He hates the math teacher and the educational counselor. Since he's participant of our project, he's called Counselor 1. This counselor, in the framework of his counseling activities, found some time, surprisingly enough, to diagnose and counsel the pupils. Unfortunately, Wilko Bransky reached better than average results in the math tests, in the initial ones. What now? The counselor knows. He was at the training with the psychologists, and since they are both from the region of Liptov, they contacted each other, and the educational counselor advised Vilko to pop in to the counseling center. We prepared the situation to not to spend time with clicking, and I will show you now how in the digital world Wilko Bransky comes to a psychologist. The situation is that Wilko entered with the parents to the door at the center. We have an approval of the center, which is absolutely a necessary condition to be able to work in the electronic environment with diagnostics. And Wilko can become, in the electronic world, a client of our Psychologist 1. How this happens? We add a pupil. The personal number of Wilko is 00311 0008. Excellent, thank you. It must be a number divisible by 11. There is an error. This is the situation which will happen. So one more zero, one more leading 0, 0003. Excellent. Continue. This is a situation when the educational counselor didn't have the personal number of the pupil available, and the system did it searched all personal numbers in the database and found no match. That's why it asks for further information. Name is William, surname is Bransky, with a dash. The similarity with Bill Gates is just coincidental. This happens too, even if this system should be resistant or should be able to handle the differences in diacritic marks. One William is 15 years old. This is the date of birth.
Bydlisko Liptovská Kokava.
Domicile Liptovská Kokava.
Aj tu môžete vidieť príklad
You can
Smart
see
Search.
an example of smart search.
A Vilko dochádza do
And
školy
Vilko
v
comes
Ružomberku, konkrétne
to
to je
a school
základná
in
škola
Ružomberok,
Andreja Hlinku.
and that's an elementary school of Andrej Hlinka. Let's try if we have it in the database.
Je tam prvom poradí. Výborné.
It's there, second line. So now I'll take over the mouse.
A teraz sa stala
And,
systém nám
and
hovorí,
now we
takýto
see the
diag v
trick.
Kompozite existuje.
We see
Je to
that
aj to, myslíte,
there
jeho?
is such an entry, such a pupil in the system. Is it him? Yes, it is. So I can add him as my client. So now I have him. So this is how quick it is. So we don't need any more papers, any more meetings. William's data is here. So here in the office, William and his parents are sitting here with me. So now I can see the results of the comprehension test of comprehension of physics and mathematics, and I can see that his results were above average indeed. And I also showed you how the data is depicted or shown. I can also tell you that there is certain hierarchy in terms of showing the data. In the project, the hierarchy is done in such a way so that the tests can be viewed by psychologists, but reports provided by psychologists cannot be seen by teachers. Something tested by psychologist 1 cannot be tested by a psychologist 2. However, the information what the pupil went through, what kind of institutions, what kind of meetings, we can see that, but not results. So here we can see the advisor or counselor number 1, and here we see the data, and we can look at William's profile. So this is the information I can see directly. This is all all the data entered by the counselor. I can add the birth, or social security number, and I can see that his grade for math is very weak, 4, so it's D. And I also see here a note that the kid is not integrated, that he refuses to follow the authority, and that he has a problem with a math teacher. Perhaps he will not need a therapy, but it's definitely something worth discussing. And then the psychologist can learn some other things that he needs in order to start the psychological process. For example, we see that he comes from a family where they have a split care. He has 3 other brothers. He is the oldest, and perhaps some other information were not entered because it is early in the process and there was no need for additional data. So, okay, I will save the profile. Of course, the system remembers all the changes, and now we can start with the diagnosis. We have gone through the initial interview with William and his parents, and we're going to try a diagnostics. And now a question for you. What would you choose? I have 30 different methodologies available. We heard something about methodology called Žiaček, or little pupil. Oh no, we heard about this little pupil. And then, of course, everything depends on how much time you have or how much resources you have available. The composite is not here to dictate what you should use, because not everything that you put into the computer would function as desired. So you're human, you would choose you would choose whatever you want. So, for
Príklad
example,
poviem,
uh,
modelujú to časové
we
možnosti,
would use
atmosféra,
this questionnaire,
reprezentovateľ
Hopomo.
osoby. Takže možno by
There
bolo
is
dobré
not
modelovať to
much time
stručne a
available,
Vilko by zatiaľ mohol
and that is why we would
vyplniť
use this
napríklad ten
questionnaire. So
dotazník
we would
ústnou
discuss
motivácie.
something with the parents,
Takže
and William, in the meantime, would fill in this
prosím,
questionnaire,
vyhľadaj
the
Vilka.
values, and motivations, and attitudes. So please find William here.
Je tam.
Okay, here he is. Thank you.
A spustíme test.
And we will run
To
the
znamená,
test.
v tomto
So,
momente paralela
at the moment,
tužka papier, chádzam niekam do
at the
skrine,
moment,
kolegyni,
I
ktorá má
would,
zamknutú kanceláriu, má 4 zámky, otvárame
if
skriňu,
we
vyberáme
would
si
take a parallel of a paper and a pen, I would have to go. I would have to go to a cabinet, find the necessary test and a paper and pencil and everything. And you can see that this way it's so much quicker. So we would continue with the questionnaire, and this is the electronic form of the questionnaire. So now I'm in the shoes of William, and I can fill in some of the values. And we tested it before this meeting. It takes too long to do it live, so that is why I completed it myself. I completed the questionnaire of a fictitious pupil, and I would like to show you what kind of clients I have. Please search for Sheldon Cooper. Okay. My objective is to show you what is the outcome of the questionnaire. So let's imagine that the kid fill in the questionnaire, and then he received the answer. Thank you for completing the questionnaire. And now either through the pupil himself or through the results tab, I can find the results. And by a single click, I can show the results of this Hopomo. Of course, all these data are fictitious, so we are not violating the rights of anyone. Of course, that the safe environment or secure environment is a priority. So I can now work with this PDF document. Another example that I would like to show, perhaps I already exhausted my time, but if not, I would like to show you one more thing. I would like to show you one special function that was mentioned by Jiří Šimonek, and that is the remote testing. I really love this feature, and we have experienced it also generally. We have two methodologies in KomposyT, for which we need the assistance of teachers. So let's say we need the attitude, or we need the help of teachers to tell us about the perception of students. So we would send them these questionnaires remotely, and I would like to show you how my colleagues send it out, these remote questionnaires. So we would again use the smart search. Please type in 184. And there it is. And when I come to the details of the diagnostics, I can see here remote testing. And now I would like to show you, together with my colleague, how quickly you can send out a questionnaire. Let's say we need from a class teacher, the teacher of William Bransky, his comments about the attitudes and behavior of William Bransky. So please find William Bransky, and now you can send it to let's say to my email, pauliselecka at gmail.com, so that you can see that it actually leaves the server. Here we can write a note for the teacher. Good, good afternoon. If you remember, we had a telephone call together. Please fill in this questionnaire. And then, of course, and that's a message that would be received by the teacher. There would be a brief text why we need the comment from William's teacher. There are also some basic information, and what I need to emphasize is that this is a single-use link, so he can only click at it once. For example, if he clicks at it and then the internet connection would be disrupted, that the questionnaire would disappear and would not exist anymore. So if you receive a question or questionnaire like this, be aware that you can click on it only once. It's a very good feature. So now the email with the answers was sent out, and if we opened my Gmail, then you would see the link, and if I clicked on it, I could start filling in the test. To conclude, I would like to say that what I really liked about Komposyt when I heard it for the first time was that there's a beauty in simplicity, and what we wanted to do was to make a good product, a product that is easy to use for users, that can run it anytime from anywhere, and they have access to the clients in their database. So in my view, I believe that this is something. This is a feature that is really exceptional and excellent in Komposyt. And the matter of saving time. Well, yesterday we wanted to compare. We wanted to see the comparison of using KomposyT and running the battery of tests, and then going through the test results and comparing the Williams results with other kids. But we'll do something else. I would like to show you a calculation. If we wanted to test, let me look at my notes. We heard that there was supposed to be 80 people here today. And so if we build a test, Be Happy, ISA, then assessment of our pupils, and reading exam. So these are the tests that originally were in the paper form, and the other two were in the digital form. We would need 39 A4s per student. If there were 30 of us, that's 15.6 kilos. So we could carry it in 3 badges, let's say. But if I multiply it with 1,500 kids, and if we were to administer these tests, it would be 2.5 tons of paper. So I really think it's worth to digitize this. And now I would like to pass the floor to my colleague, who will tell you why we need a high quality diagnostics and how it can be done. Okay, I would link to what Pavlina was saying, and what I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show it to you in the Komposyt. It would be too easy and too short. I would just click one button, and that would be it. But I would like to now share with you what happens when you click that one button, when you collect the data. So thanks to the fact that the Komposyt covers all the consulting or all the the guidance and consultancy centers. And through their activity and through electronic diagnostics of their clients, the composite allows us automatically. It allows us automatically collect data and results, and not only results, but only to get as low as to the primary data, even to get as low as to the answers of a single kids, which is a key factor for us to be able to analyze the tests and the methodologies in terms of their reliability and psychoanalysis. And it allows us to assess whether or not this diagnostics is of any quality and whether it is good enough to assess some risky behavior, for example. So in the internal part, we analysts who have been trained as part of the project, we have a possibility of exporting individual results for anyone who used the diagnostic tools. These data are collected in central location, and we can export it to a CSV file, and then we can work at it outside of the composite, and we can run mathematical and statistical analysis. We are using two specific programs for that. SBS, probably you know this tool from your work. It's a very user-friendly software product which allows you by clicking to run various statistics, and this serves for the purpose of first descriptive or exploration statistics and second level sorting and the distribution of, let's say, results of boys and girls or kids of certain age. But if you want to do something more complex in terms of mathematics and statistics, we're using probably the state of the art and most used product called R. This product was created by statists, and a great benefit of that is that they're using the latest statistics the stats they needed for themselves, and they program it for themselves, and then they share it with the rest of the world. So this tool allows us to use a more complex analysis. So our objective, our analysts' objective in the national program is the process of standardization of three tests. One is the ISA or ISA intelligence test, then personality test of ISANC, and then the reading test. And then we have also some new methodologies, and we are verifying some features because they have been taken over from abroad, and now we are testing it whether it applies to our kids in Slovakia as well. However, we would not like to finish here. Our ambition is to use this comprehensive data, because as you could see for yourself, when we have data about specific clients, there's a lot of data about their status, their social status, behavior problems, results in schools, etc. And then using more comprehensive mathematical models, we can look for this socio-economical conditions and his behavior, risky behavior, intelligence, etc. So to look for certain predictions or talents, but for that we need much more complex analysis, and that is why we work together also with Dr. Kanowski, who helps us to build these kind of models. And to conclude, because we heard a lot of information, so I would like to share at least four basic things. What Composite offers to its users or visitors of this portal. As my colleague Martinkovic said, there is the public part where the general public and parents and students can get some general information about let's say, behavior or about various challenges and problems, or if they have a suspicion that, let's say, their child might have some specific needs, they can find some initial information. They can also find the nearest counseling center. Then we heard that there is also a part of the system that is dedicated to the counselors, and we heard about all the tools that make it easier for counselors and get rid of the administration or bureaucracy. And then we also heard about the process of diagnosing the individual clients. And now I wanted to show you this added value of utilizing all this work for the big data analysis for standardization and analysis and searching for a deeper meaning in all of that. So thank you for your attention. So this is the last screen that you would see whenever you complete a test. If I may, I would steal a little bit more of your time. We just decided to share our feelings with you that are very cordial. And everything that we heard was positive. And of course, this is the objective of the conference, to motivate. But the truth is that sometimes we are quarreling, we are trying to argue, or we are arguing how to protect the security of, let's say, all this data. Sometimes we argue, sometimes we spend too much time at work and not leaving before midnight. Sometimes it really gets on our nerves. But please take the microphone, and now I will step on the other side. It's also okay. It's all about a composite, and it's all about people. It was 3 years of hard work, but over those 3 years, we managed, or we collected, or we established contacts, but not just ordinary contacts. It's all about working closely together with people in the field. When you would talk to our managers, they would share the same thing with you. So we feel very well, we feel okay, and we're glad that we can share it with you. Well, we try to build this internet application and to make it available to people, to professionals, to make it faster for them to achieve results. So if they don't have the ideal conditions, this is something. So that they are able to work with their computer. and we try to do our best. So hopefully we manage to that, and we will continue doing a good job. So it's not any sitcom, it's KomposyT. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Bye, Europe. Wanted to say that if they continue for another 10 minutes, they would ended up naked. But now let's go back to the professional part. Now let me use this panel and put it back a little. We will have a short discussion, but that will only happen after a short break. And there we will be able to discuss how the composite can be used in practice. We can use the data that was collected up to now. So what I can tell you now is that there will be two short presentations, and then after that we'll have the discussion. So let